a treasure hunt. But the treasures are not hidden in some ancient chests buried under a mountain. They are right at our fingertips. The secret to accessing these treasures will be revealed today in today's after work session titled Discover Toastmaster International's Hidden Treasures, the Online Library, the Shop, and Pathway Secrets. Before we begin, I'll quickly take you through a few housekeeping rules. Please let's ensure we keep our microphone muted when we are not speaking to avoid background noise and distractions. Please, if you can, please keep our camera on. Let's keep our camera on so we can see each other and stay engaged. If you have access to the background there, you can see my background. You can see we have a uniform background. Please download yours and use it. Let's pay attention and listen actively so that we can get the most out of today's session. And most importantly, let's participate, have fun, and make the most of the experience. And now to officially begin tonight's after work session, it is my pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster Leadership Institute chair for District 130, Toastmaster Asani Amadu Namari, DTM. He is someone who stands up to challenges, earns happiness, and embraces adventure, perfectly captured in his favorite quote by Mother Teresa. Life is a challenge to be met, happiness to be earned, and an adventure to be embraced. Toastmasters, please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Asane Amadu Namari, DTM. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adebayo. Thank you for your kind words. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. Good evening, district leaders who are among us tonight. Thank you for making time to join us. At TLI, we aim to strengthen the quality of learning across our district, connect members with strategic resources and help them accelerate their development as communicator and leader. Tonight's session is very much about that. Toastmaster offers us an extraordinary ecosystem of resources that can help us develop specific skills and strengthen our clubs. Yet many of these resources remain underused simply because we do not know they exist or where to find them. That is why we have mobilized one of our senior leaders of this movement, DTM Oladele Olunike, to share his experience and help us uncover some of these valuable resources. I would also like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank the very distinguished Division D for its strong mobilization and support in organizing tonight's session. And now, let me introduce you someone. He is a champion. Some people speak English, others study it, teach it, and help people discover the power behind every word. Our moderator tonight belongs to the second group, an English doctor, public speaking instructor, and author of 2 best-selling books. He has made communication part of his life work. And his passion to communication naturally found another home in Toastmaster. He is a past president of Merit Toastmaster Club, and in 2021 became the district speech evaluation champion. Please join me welcoming Toastmaster Craig Esode. Toastmaster is over there. Over to you.
Oh, wow. Mr. Chairman, I confess myself tremendously grateful for the unrivaled eloquence of your introductory remarks. My most distinguished colleagues, on the highway of life, every great journey requires a map, but the greatest journeys require a treasure map. Tonight, I am delighted to inform you that we are going to unseal the vault to our most underutilized asset, the Toastmasters digital repository. Ladies and gentlemen, the Toastmasters online library, the shop, and Pathways Secrets. Before we get down to brass tacks, permit me to invite the individual who is going to serve as our timekeeper. Given the fact that a Chinese proverb says, an inch of time is an inch of gold, but we cannot buy an inch of time with an inch of gold. Our timekeeper for tonight is a member of Pecton Toastmasters Club. She's a nurse. Her recreations are reading, cooking, and making money. And what is her best liked quote? No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to fix it for you. No one is coming to make your life better. It's up to you. A quote by Mel Robbins, an American author. Please welcome Toastmaster Favor Eweka to explain the timing protocol for tonight's engagement.
Good evening, delectable Toastmasters. It's such a delight to be playing the role of the timer. My name is Erica Favor. As the moderator, as said it. So, as your timer, my job is simple. So, when I raise the just a moment, please. So, when I change my background to green, please keep speaking, but with caution. When my background turns to yellow means please kindly wrap up. Then, when I finally change my background to red, please kindly stop speaking. Thank you, and over to you, moderator.
That was succinct, wasn't it? Please let's appreciate her with a warm Toastmasters applause. All right, thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Favor. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to inform you that the training will last for 30 minutes. Thereafter, we're going to delve into a Q&A session, and I want all of us to mentally and physically prepare for that. Responsibility will often gravitate to those who have the shoulders to bear them. Our trainer for tonight has been a Pathways ambassador and guide since 2017. He's a multi-award winning global inspirational speaker, a C-suite executive coach, a business etiquette expert, a corporate effectiveness consultant, plus he's a TEDx speech coach. He leads Nigeria's leading human capacity development and human capital enhancement firm, known affectionately as Oladele Olunike and Associates. My most distinguished colleagues, brothers and sisters, this gentleman is the first doubly distinguished Toastmaster in West and Central Africa and was recognized by a Harvard University study as a global exemplar of excellence and ethics. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you all with a reverberating, resounding round of applause to join me to welcome the quintessential polymath, our distinguished Toastmaster Olade Olunike, to facilitate the session.
Toastmasters works if and when you work it. The more you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters gives to you. The less you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters is waiting to give to you. Mr. Moderator, the English doctor, Toastmaster Craig Asowode, the chair of Toastmasters Leadership Institute in District 130, Toastmaster Asani Hamadu DTM, all our district leaders, all our division leaders, all our area leaders, all our club leaders, fellow Toastmasters, and our distinguished guests, if any. Toastmasters works if and when you work it. The more you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters gives to you. The less you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters is waiting to give to you. The menu that we have on the table today is rightfully captioned, Discover Toastmasters International Hidden Treasures, the online library, the shop, and Pathway Secrets. I am going to be privileged today to be your Clint Eastwood, who will be leading you through the crevices to hunt for treasures as we journey through Toastmasters archives to unravel the treasures in the online library, the treasures in the shop, and of course, the secrets that have been hidden for long in Pathways. For the purpose of individualization, for the purpose of effective personalization, I have taken the liberty of creatively, cautiously, and courteously recaptioned today's theme, still bearing the full weight of the import of the expectations to what I call mastering or making the most of your Toastmasters journey. Making the most of your Toastmasters journey. As we commence, please remember that Toastmasters works if and when you work it. The more you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters will give to you. The less you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters is waiting to give to you. I learned long ago that expectation is the mother of manifestation. I learned long ago that expectation is the foundation upon which the building of expectation is established. I learned long ago, ladies and gentlemen, that expectation is the springboard from where manifestation sprouts. I'm curious. I like to know, what is your expectation for this session today? In the course of today's session, I shall be applying for my facilitation the AELM methodology of facilitation. The AELM methodology of facilitation is proudly deployed at Harvard Business School in the United States of America. The AELM methodology of facilitation is profoundly deployed at the London School of Economics and Policy. The AELM methodology of facilitation is proudly deployed at Lagos Business School, Nigeria. What is the AELM methodology of facilitation? Where A stands for adult, E stands for experiential, L stands for learning, and M for methodology. What does this entail? It entails interactive learning, collaborative learning, use of edutaining videos, use of case studies, use of surveys, experience sharing, storytelling, class exercises, syndicate sessions. These and many more. And of course, the use of posers from time to time, cladded in form of questions. So, I'd like you to get up because it's going to be a highly interactive session. We shall be doing this together. So, I'd like to hear from you. What is your expectation for today's session? Please put your expectation in the chat window. Let us discuss it. Yes? What is your expectation for today's session? Yes? Do I have somebody talking to me? And I do hope that everybody brought their voices across the 10 countries of our sprawling District 130 today. What is your expectation? Toastmaster Fola Badamosi says, Mr. QP I'm looking for cheat codes to DTM. Thank you for being honest. I like the word cheat codes. Yes, I call them quick wins. Thank you, Toastmaster Badamosi. Yes, who else is talking to me? What is your expectation tonight? Or you just got a memo that another after work session is taking place and then you submitted yourself, perhaps because your program quality director in your division has a lot of influence over you. Yes, what is your expectation? Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo says, where is the treasure? Let's pounce on it. Pounce on it we shall, Toastmaster Adebayo. Thank you for sharing. Toastmaster Aisha Mohammed says, to better understand my pathway, thank you for sharing, Toastmaster Aisha Mohammed. Program Quality Director at Division D, I want to learn more about Toastmasters. Thank you, our newly minted Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho DTM. Toastmaster Samsung SM says, I hope that is somebody's name, that's what I see here. My expectation is to get sources which will help develop my public speaking skills in a short time. Thank you for sharing. Toastmaster Paul Abbey says, for treasure hunting we shall, Toastmaster Abbey. Toastmaster Jibril Yusuf says, I want to know how to explore the hidden treasures in Toastmasters. That we shall do, Toastmaster Jibril Yusuf. Toastmaster Galadima Abubakar says, hello, my DTM, hello to you. My expectation is to knowing the updating pathways as I'm awing back. That we shall do, Toastmaster Abubakar. Toastmaster Olem says, to get to know Toastmasters more intimately. That we shall do, Toastmaster Olem. Thank you for sharing. Also, get more explanation about pathways. Says again, the second missionary response of Toastmaster Samsung SM. Thank you for sharing. Toastmaster Josephine Agolo says, finding the hidden treasures. Thank you, everybody, for your quite enthusiastic sharing. Let us build on these. Let us use these responses as building blocks to start to soar as we make progress. Please remember these words in the course of today's session. If you do not hear me say anything, remember that Toastmasters works if and when you work it. The more you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters gives back to you. The less you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters is waiting to give back to you. Let me ask you in the spirit of applying the AELM methodology of facilitation, and it is my hope that everybody brought their voices this evening, because it is this back and forth style that we shall roll with all through the session today. How many of you feel you're using Toastmasters to its full potential? If you belong to that WhatsApp group, please type potential in the WhatsApp in the chat, please. In the chat window. Let's do that quickly. How many of you feel you're using Toastmasters to its full potential? If you belong to that group, please type potential. If you do not belong to that group, please type on my way. Thank you for sharing, Toastmaster Kikeloma Odiebo. Thank you for sharing, Madam Program Quality Director, Division D. Thank you for sharing, Toastmaster Galadima Abubakar. Thank you for sharing, Toastmaster Inyobong Owen. Thank you for sharing, Toastmaster Badamosi, Toastmaster Mohammed. Aisha, thank you for sharing, Toastmaster Jamilu, I beg your pardon. Inusa, thank you for sharing. I can see quite a number of streamings. Thank you for your honesty for those who sent on my way. All right, I'm going to come back to the group that belongs to on my way. For those who belong to the group of potential, please list 3 benefits that characterize your full potential experience in your Toastmasters journey. Let's go. Talk to me in the chat window. Please list 3 benefits that you consider encapsulate your full potential experience in your journey in Toastmasters. Let's hear it. Who has the answers? Let's hear it. All right. Okay. I'm waiting. All right. Whilst you're doing that, let us hear, maybe those who are on their way will be quicker to respond. If you belong to the WhatsApp group of those who said you're on your way to making the most of your Toastmasters journey, may I ask you, and I'd like you to respond in the chat window, what do you consider the challenge barring you from using Toastmasters to its full potential at the moment? Let's talk about it. Yes, who is talking to me in the chat window? I am seeing no chat at the moment. I hope you are not keeping malice with me. I hope I am not traveling on this island as a lonely, jolly traveler. Yes, talk to me. Who is talking to me? I'm not seeing any chat anymore. I hope there's no glitch in our system because I saw a barrage of them earlier. Okay, somebody says, fear of speaking. Okay, somebody says, not fully understanding pathways is the reason why she has not taken the full potential, advantage of the full potential of the Toastmasters program. Another says, not understanding the pathways. Somebody says, lack of adequate knowledge. Somebody says, lack of information and time. Somebody says, lack of clarity. Another says, not enough time to put the practice to practice what I've learned. Somebody else says, still trying to get to know pathways. Thank you kindly for your honesty. Thank you kindly for sharing enthusiastically. Another person says, still navigating the pathways. May I request that you give yourselves, all of you, all over our district, a resounding electronic round of applause for your honesty. Thank you. Let's build on these responses and then let us go to where we ought to go. Remember, we are discussing making the most of your Toastmasters journey. And in the course of this, we shall be unraveling the hidden treasures of Toastmasters International, looking at the library, online library, the shop, and the secrets of Toastmasters. And somebody else also says, difficulty of finishing high-level leadership project. Please be assured that all your concerns will be attended to. If at the end of this session, your expectations are not met, please politely pull me by the collar of my jacket and remind me. In the course of this session, we shall be helping you to help you to accelerate your growth in your Toastmasters journey. In addition to that, we shall help you to enhance your experience in your Toastmasters journey. The last but not least, this session will help you to unlock greater opportunities for you in your Toastmasters journey. As we stay committed, dedicated to constantly, consistently, and continuously apply the things we will learn during this session. These are the things I promise you will experience. But please understand, it is based on this condition. You must apply the things you will learn in the course of this session. Why do I say that? Ordinarily, what you know should make you grow. The more you know, the more you should grow. But what you know that you don't do gets nothing done. So the transformation does not begin from just coming for after work session, which is commendable, which is great, and we want to see more of you and invite other Toastmasters for every session. However, the trigger that makes the transformation happen is the application of the information you've acquired. It is therefore not information acquisition or comprehension that leads to transformation, but information application. Information application. So as you go to apply the things we shall be learning in the course of this session, these are the things I promise will happen. Number one, you will enjoy accelerated growth in your Toastmaster journey. Number two, you will enjoy enhanced experience in your Toastmaster journey. The last but not least, you will unlock greater opportunities in your Toastmasters journey. Please remember that we are discussing making the most of your Toastmasters journey. We're going to look at 3 categories of the treasures, from pathways, from the online library, and of course from the shop. The first treasure that we want to unlock is what I call the core resources. The core resources. And under the core resources, we shall be looking at 4 of them. What is in it for me? Somebody will ask. How do I learn and grow? Some of us have asked. Today, let us unravel it. The number 1 core resource is pathways learning experience. What is pathways? Somebody may ask. The pathways is the answer to the bickerings, the feedback of many Toastmasters in the Toastmasters world after 86 years of the legacy program, where we had 2 distinct tracks, the leadership track and the communication track, where in the communication track we had 4 levels, and in the leadership track we had 3 levels. A combination of the 2 which brings you to the crescendo of the acquisition of the dual awards of Advanced Communicator Gold in the communication track and Advanced Leader Silver in the leadership track. And then, having applied for your capstone project, which is the DTM project, then you will achieve or attain or earn meritoriously the highest honor achievable at Toastmasters, which is the DTM. But in 2010, there was a barrage of feedback to the headquarters that we cannot effectively connect some of the things we are learning in the legacy program to real-life solutions. Toastmasters International, being a forward-thinking organization, received in the learnings of Kenneth Blanchard, a world-renowned management consultant, who said that feedback is the breakfast of champions, went into the laboratory and remodeled the feedback into what we now know today, initially as revised education program, and now popularly known as the Pathways Learning Experience. The Pathways Learning Experience is a relatively new Toastmasters program, but I call it an experience because it's indeed an experience. It is a customizable learning path that has online resources. It is a self-paced module. Let us dive straight into there. So we now have what we call classes of paths. Initially back in 2017, because Pathways was rolled out in different regions, but it wasn't until 2017 that Pathways was rolled out in Africa. And when it was rolled out, initially we had 10 paths, and later it was updated to 11 paths. But currently we now have what I call the 4 classes of paths. So the first class is what we call the specialized path, which is what you can see on the screen, which includes the dynamic leadership, the engaging humor, the motivational strategies, the persuasive influence, the presentation mastery, and the visionary communication, which are currently on sale. Each of these paths, you can get them from our shop. How do you locate the shop? If you already started your pathways, you don't need to go to the shop to buy the paths. You will have your base camp. Every magic in Pathways experience happens in the base camp. Inside your base camp, you get 1 path for free from Toastmasters, and then you need to buy the second one. And you need to complete 2 paths and a DTM project in both paths to earn the Distinguished Toastmasters Award. Now, where do you find them apart from here, or rather in your own portal, in your own section of the Toastmasters portal, also known as the website? In the Pathways portal, when you open the website, at the top are certain templates in the following nomenclature: the About, Education Program, Resources, Membership, Magazine, Event, and Shop. We shall be mentioning each when we need to point you to where to get what. But please note that each of these 6 specialized parts are currently on sale, and each of them is $35 each. If you've already started your program, you will get it straight away in your base account. But if you're yet to start, you can, through the Vice President Education, purchase it. If you cannot purchase it directly, and purchase your second path, but you can get them in the online shop. Furthermore, the second class of pass is what we now call the vintage pass. Let me quickly say in the earlier part that each of these parts already point to real life solutions that you face at work. For instance, if you're the leader of a human resources team, if you're a head of a department, perhaps a part like dynamic leadership may be helpful. If you're in the marketing business and you make presentations often, you need to persuade your stakeholders or your clients or your customers. Perhaps presentation mastery with a combination and a taste or a garnishing of persuasive influence may be important. If you're a leader, a C-suite executive who needs to lead your own business, you lead your own business with your team of staff, you may want to consider visionary communication. These are some of the paths that could be relevant to your day-to-day professional career and personal life. Before you pick any path, you will be required to take a skills assessment test that will point you to at least 3 that are closest to the responses you must have given when this is done. But we'll talk about this more when we talk about the pathways enhancement, which is a different module on its own. Let's move on with what we have for today. The second class of part is what we call the vintage part. The vintage part is a resuscitation of Toastmasters' past years. This may be new to many people. For those who were privileged to be part of the legacy program before the Pathways program came, the vintage part is a combination of 2 parts, as you may see on the screen. The first part is the communication series, which is a combination of 2 projects, the entertaining speaker and the storytelling speaker. For as many as are here today who were part of the legacy program before the revised education program came, also known as Pathways Learning Experience, the entertaining speaker and the storytelling were 2 individual advanced leadership manuals of the 15 advanced leadership manuals in the then legacy program. Toastmasters thought people who are joining Toastmasters in the Pathways era can still partake of what had been, and hence we have what we call the vintage part. And then we also now have what we call the basic training for Toastmasters. This particular module existed as early as the 1940s. I hope we remember that Toastmaster is a centurion plus 1 year old. And then the version that we have in the vintage part is the version that was produced 15 years after, 1956. A combination of these 2 modules forms the vintage part. So if you want to learn storytelling at the core of it, if you want to learn entertaining speaker at the core of it, if you want to learn certain basic trainings of the modus operandi of Toastmasters in the early years, and I'm talking about several decades ago, you have the vintage part, what Toastmasters looked like. And this is $60, the combination of the 2 of them, and you can find them in the online shop. The third class of pathways is what we now call the exploration. The exploration is the baby of all the paths. There are more modules that will come into the exploration, but the latest that have just been released Toastmasters has been promoting exploration since January this year, but incidentally, it was just released 6 days ago. Can you imagine? And the first module that was released is the online meeting mastery, which has 3 projects. It has attending online meetings. For those of us who work remotely in our organization, you live in Lagos, you work in Las Vegas, you live in Kaduna, you work in Kuala Lumpur. This will be good for you. You have the attending online meetings, you have the facilitating online meetings, and then presenting online presentations in exploration. And exploration is a giveaway if you ask me, because it's only $15. So if you're interested, you can get it in our store. And then we have lastly the legacy parts, which are not currently on sale, but they used to be a part of the first set of 10 parts. We have the effective coaching, innovative planning, leadership development, strategic relationships, and team collaborations. All of these you can get in our store. The reason why I cannot give you the current going rate for these 5 parts is because they are not on sale at the moment. If you look at these 4 classes, it now means from the initial 10 parts that we used to have, which was upgraded to 11 parts, we now have a total of 14 parts. If you're ever asked that question by your protege in your club, how many classes of parts do we have? It is 4 of them. If you are ever asked by a protege in your club, how many parts in all do we have? We have 14 of them. So the second core resources that we have is what we call the Club Central and leadership roles. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand that Toastmasters is not just about speeches. It is a toolbox for leadership and networking and personal growth. Please remember that. Toastmasters is not just about speeches. Have you noticed that our payoff line is where leaders are made? Great leaders are effective communicators, and effective communicators are potential great leaders. So please remember that Toastmasters is not just about speeches. It's a toolbox for leadership, networking, and personal growth. So in the Club Central and leadership roles is a second of the core resources where you have opportunities beyond just giving speeches. When you have advanced in your Toastmasters career to a certain level, to continue to blossom and grow, I tell you from experience of having been mentoring for 27 years, to start to give back to others who are coming behind you. And when I say 27 years, that was several years before I joined Toastmasters 17 years ago. In addition to mentoring, and I've come to realize from personal experience that when you mentor others from what you have achieved in your own journey, it is a win-win solution. It is the 7 of the habits of highly effective people in that best-selling book written by the gentleman Stephen Covey. 7 habits of highly effective people. The 7th habit is a win-win solution. And then we have the officer's roles. One of the ways to make the most of your Toastmasters journey is not just to give speeches and go home. It's not just to be part of the club. When you also sign up for officer roles, the role of the president, the role of the vice president education, the role of the secretary, the role of the vice president public relations, the role of the vice president membership, the role of the treasurer, the role of the sergeant at arms, and then you take it to the next level. After you served 1 year, you become an area director, you become a program quality director at an area level. You take it to the next level. You move to the division. You become a program quality director at the division level. You become a division director, and you keep going every notch higher. And you realize that the more, remember, Toastmasters works. And when you work it, if you're truly working Toastmasters, you will begin to see the positive effect in your personal life, in your professional life, in your public life. You will begin to get the compliments at work. You will begin to get the compliment from your client, from your colleague, from your husband, from your wife, because Toastmasters works when you work it. Where do you find the Club Central? When you go to the education program, on the website, you can find the Club Central and the leadership roles there. And then look at this chart quickly. Let me break this down. This gives us an entire picture. It's a very extensive chart, so I'll just speed through it because we have a very short time, and I know that our time is swiftly moving, judicially being used. But let me tell you, each of the 3 modules that we have in today is a minimum of a 2-hour session of its on its own. But we've got to do what we've got to do, haven't we? If you look at this chart, at the top is members. At the center of the picture, members followed by clubs, meaning you cannot be in Toastmasters individually without being attached to one local club or the other. And then a number of members make clubs, a number of clubs make areas, a number of areas make divisions, a number of divisions make districts, a number of districts makes the region, a number of regions have board of directors who superintend over them, and then we have the headquarters. This is the hierarchical organogram of our organization at Toastmasters International. If you look at the top left of the chart, you will see the club executive committee there. When you take opportunity by not just being a floor member in your club, you will begin to see how your capacity will start to develop. And then you move to the top right, you move to the area level where you have several roles from the area director to the assistant area director, who is also known as the program quality director, and then another second assistant area director, who is known as the club growth director. You have the secretary, and then the club presidents are part of the area council. And of course, the club vice president educations of all clubs in that area are part of the area council. And then all the club vice president members are also part of the area council. And then the middle of the left, you have the district division council, where members of the area are key members of the division. And then we have, of course, the president of the division is the division director, and then the assistant division director, who is the program quality director, and then the assistant division director too, who is the club growth director, and then all the area directors of the division. And when you move to the bottom right, we have the division council, where in addition to the district director, in addition to the program quality director at the district, and in addition to the club growth director at the district, we have members of different divisions in that district being council members. And in the same way, district members flow into the region, and region members make up what we have at the headquarters. I can see red. Can you imagine that? Mr. Moderator, fellow Toastmasters, and our esteemed guests, Toastmasters works if you work it. The more you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters give to you.
Right,
The
wow.
less you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters is waiting to give to you. Over to you, Mr. Moderator.
All right, thank you most eloquently, distinguished Toastmaster Oladele Olunike, the quintessential polymath, for the unparalleled wisdom of your presentation. I would love to request the Zoom master to please spotlight my video feed for everyone to consume my words. Ladies and gentlemen, we learned quite a lot from that presentation, did we not? In point of fact, certain nuggets stood out for me like a strawberry in a bowl of peas. For instance, he was able to reiterate the point that the more you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters will give to you. And the less you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters is waiting to give to you. Is that not insight rich? Toastmaster works when you work it. It works when you work it. It works when you work it. It works when we work it. Brothers and sisters, we're going to delve into the Q&A session right now. If you've got a question, all you have to do is to raise your hand, or you can type your question into the chat channel. I'm going to read it out loud for our quintessential polymath to respond to it with unmatched effectiveness. I want to ask a question. Distinguished Toastmaster Oladele Olunike, my question is, can non-members access the Toastmasters digital repository or the online library? Is that a possibility?
Thank you kindly, Mr. Moderator, for asking that very poignant question. Except you're a member of the family, you're not invited to the cookout. Except you're a member of the family, you may not get invites to the Christmas party or the New Year party, like my parents often host every year when we were young. So, if you must be part of this rich repository at Toastmasters, what we call treasures, which we need to unravel, and you see that we didn't even have the pleasure of sufficient duration of time to uncover all of the deep treasures. It is simple. Be part of the family, and then all of these treasures shall be yours for the take. Mr. Moderator.
All right, many thanks for that. It is crystal clear, is it not, that if you're not a Toastmaster, you cannot access the digital repository or the hidden treasures within the Toastmasters conclave. While we await with the patience of Job questions from members of the floor, I have another intuitive question. And the question is, are the legacy manuals still valid? Are the legacy manuals still valid?
Thank you very kindly, Mr. Moderator. I'm going to answer that question in two ways. Yes, they are. In fact, every program that Toastmasters has ever created, every course that Toastmasters has ever created from inception till date are still valid. And that's why, in its wisdom, Toastmasters brought us recently what we now call the vintage part, aptly Christian so, because these parts, as I made an attempt to explain earlier, for those of us who experience the legacy part, when I said the legacy, I beg your pardon, the legacy program, the legacy experience, you will recall that we had 15 advanced manuals after you must have completed your competent communication 10 speeches. Of those 15 advanced manuals, you will do 6 of them in the course of your DTM, because for the advanced communicator bronze, I beg your pardon, you're going to do 2. For your advanced communicator silver, you will do 2. And then for your advanced communicator gold, you will do 2. So when you complete one run of DTM, you have 9 advanced manuals left. So Toastmaster said, look, people can still partake if all they know Toastmasters International asks is in the era of pathways. They can still partake of those yesteryears. Hence, the wisdom behind the creation of the vintage path. And they didn't stop there. They went even as far back as 1940s and brought another treasure from the crevices of the annals of our history that they now present to us as basic training of Toastmasters. If you did not join Toastmasters as far back as then, you don't know what that is. Those were the basic trainings that they gave to Toastmasters then, even before what we call the legacy program came. The two of them together is what we now have as vintage part, where you can still do what we used to do in competent communication. Project 1, which is storytelling. Project 2, how to organize your speech. Project 3, get to the point. Project 4, how to use words. Project 5, use of body language. Project 6, vocal variety. Project 7, research and statistics. Project 8, use of visual aids. Project 9, motivational speaking. And Project 10, speaking to inspire. The combination of these two, which is $60 for the taking, forms the vintage part. However, you can only credit them separately, not as paths for your DTM, because there are several other treasures. For instance, the mentorship program is a separate program. The explorations is a separate program. The speechcraft is a separate program. The youth leadership program is a separate program. And these are not necessarily paths on your way to a DTM, but there are additional things you can be doing. For instance, I have in my base camp several other treasures there. Story collections is a project I'm doing, but it's not along the path. So you can still do this part, but you may not get credit as to DTM for them.
Okay, all right, many thanks for that. May I request, please, the Zoom master to please spotlight myself alongside distinguished Toastmaster Oladile Olunika. That's going to be pleasant to look at in my perspective or vantage point. Okay, yeah, all right, that looks exquisite now. I'm going to ask you two questions, and I want to believe other Toastmasters here would be interested in hearing your response to these two questions. The first question would... All right. Distinguished Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho asked a question in the chat channel. And what is the question? What is the best hidden treasure in your view? What is the best hidden treasure in your view? And the next question is, how about Toastmasters who want to participate in the international speech contest, in the humorous speech contest, in the tall tales speech contest, in the table topics contest, in the speech evaluation contest? How can they explore the materials there to help them perform with excellence? Those are the two questions that I have for you now. Please respond to them.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. Moderator. And these are brilliant questions. I commend those who asked them. For the first question, which is the best treasure? What looks like 9 to me may look like 6 to you. It is about perspectives. What brought you to Toastmasters will determine when you take a journey through all of the treasures, what matters to you most. But I can assure you that every of Toastmasters' treasures, I speak from ample experience of having done this twice, that is the DTM, and I'm at just the nick of time of clinching my third DTM, and I was too hungry to keep learning. And so on the 4th of August, I began my 4th DTM. So I can tell you authoritatively that every treasure carries unimaginable value. But based on what brought you to Toastmasters will determine which you consider the greatest treasure. The second question, and I thank that person for asking this question because that is what I call the third segment of my presentation, which time we do not afford us to get to, which we call the hidden opportunities. They're often taken for granted treasures, but have a great potential. They are the speech contests. One of the ways in which you can further develop your capacity beyond giving communication projects, delivering leadership projects, I learned early in my career in Toastmasters, is to participate in contests. I speak because in the course of my Toastmasters career, before I hung my boot in the contest arena and focused on other areas of interest in Toastmasters, for instance, the pathways, I have been part of 13 contests, some of which have got to the division level, some of which I got to the district level, and of the 13 of them, I got the first place 11 times, and the remaining 2, I shall not tell you except you ask nicely. But what I have come to learn is that the more you participate in contests, what happens? When you deliver communication project, you are calibrating your capacity against the objectives of your project. But when you participate in contests, you've got 2 hurdles to scale. One, you are calibrating your capacity against the objectives of the speech you're delivering, because every international speech contest, for example, is essential and inspirational speech. Then, beyond the objectives of the speech you're delivering, you're also calibrating it against the number of contestants that you're competing with. You can imagine how that will stretch you, how that will stretch your capacity. And then let me quickly say this in the last bit of answering this question. There are 7 types of contests at Toastmasters International. We have the table topic speech contest. We have the tall tale speech contest. We have the international speech contest. We have the humorous speech contest. We have the evaluation speech contest. And then we have the video contest for those who may not be able to participate in face-to-face. And every of these contests have their categories ending at the district. It is only the international speech contest that gets to the international. Mr. Moderator.
Right. All right, many thanks for that. Many thanks for that. I had to ask you that question because I listened to an interview by Harold Pattinson, the Toastmasters 1987 world champion of public speaking, and how he was able to explore the Toastmasters digital repository, the online library, to access the inspirational speaking manual, which he used to develop the speech that won him that title in 1987. And I want to thank you most graciously once again for your eloquence as well as your wisdom. I'm going to squeeze in one more question before we wrap up and segue into the next item on the agenda. And the question is, distinguished Toastmaster Oladele Olonike, if you were to restart your journey in Toastmasters, same goals, same dreams, same hunger, what pathway would you start with?
Thank you kindly for asking that question, because I was faced with that decision a few days ago as I commenced my 4th DTM missionary journey. I'd wanted to quickly do these two paths: strategic relationships and team collaboration.
Right. Okay.
What informs my own decision of which path I do per time is what is my greatest need.
Right.
My first DTM in pathways, I did the effective communication and persuasive influence, because these were areas I was so hungry for about 7-8 years ago when I did that. And then when I did my second DTM, I remember the words of a mutual mentor of ours, English doctor. May the Lord bless his soul, Sir Richmond Dyer Johnson. In my early days at Toastmasters, it was a culture between him and I to rehearse my speeches before him as my mentor, before going to Toastmasters to deliver it. In one of those sessions, he said to me in a local language, in a dialect, as I was rehearsing, he said, Oladele Koletoye, meaning it is not that serious. He said to me, Oladele, you've mastered the content. Oladele, you've mastered the concept, the style of delivery, but you're too serious. You need to inject humor, because the attention span of human being is so short that humor now becomes a lubricant via which you oil their interest from the beginning of your presentation to the end of your presentation. So I had to go for engaging humor, even though during the earlier legacy experience, I had begun to do the entertaining speaker in the advanced manuals and speaking humorously. So my answer to that is, ask yourself, like somebody asked me at Ikeja Toastmasters on Saturday, I want to do visionary communication. I want to do motivational strategy. Which one would you suggest to me? I gave her the same answer I'm giving to you right now. Put the two on the scale of preference, on priority. Which one is your most pressing need? And then by all means, go for it. Mr. Moderator.
Wow. All right. I admire your vigor and candor and rigor. Well done. Brothers and sisters, I can see the hand of distinguished Toastmaster Paul. I want to believe he wants to ask a succinct or concise question. All right, let's allow him to ask the question. That's going to be the last before we delve into the next item on the agenda. TM Paul, please.
Thank you so much, our amiable moderator. I'm mistaken for an Englishman. Maybe you're from Wales. I'm a Nigerian, so permit my local accent. Our amiable, very energetic facilitator. I wonder the diet, the lunch you took this afternoon, if you're still there. but that is enough energy to make us understand what you're teaching. However, I just want you to give us one of the reasons why, if you compare the legacy period to pathway now, something about, and you said that Toastmaster is not all about giving speeches, it's a toolbox for leadership networking. Why are Toastmasters invading leadership in this era? Thank you, sir.
Did I get you right? Did you say, why are they evading leadership? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
Toastmasters stay away
But,
from leadership. A lot of time you look for club officers, you look for
woo!
people to serve. Why? Why is it so? Is it that they
Thank
have
you
not?
very kindly. Thank you very kindly for asking that question. Let me mention this with a bit of confidentiality because I don't have the permission to mention some people's names, but I will mention this scenario that happened. In the very early days of Toastmasters, when I say very early days, in my own generation, and I'm talking about circa 2009, a few of us who are Toastmaster friends, after finishing from one club, we go to another club. On one Saturday, we could attend about 4 club meetings
Absolutely.
around the Victoria Island axis. And one of the issues that we were belly aching on out of concern for wanting every Toastmasters to see these treasures and enjoy them, approach them with the same zest for hunger. But we couldn't understand why our palates tasted differently. And when we began to do personal service, we suddenly realized that what brought each Toastmaster to Toastmasters differs. And we needed to eat the humble pie and allow everybody to have their own peculiar journey. But
Okay.
as I said to our fellow Toastmasters at Ikeja Toastmasters Club on Saturday, because this question also came up, is at Toastmasters Leadership Institute, I want to commend Mr. Chair, Toastmaster Asani Hamadu, DTM, for putting together the after work. We must constantly, consistently, and continuously keep having workshops such as this to help some of our members understand some of these treasures that they are here to take advantage of. I'll give you a quick example and I hold my peace. If you have noticed, as I have in my 17 years of being here at Toastmasters, and I've been crusading this, you will notice, if you've been a mentor of a fellow Toastmaster, the amount of work, the amount of time invested in preparing for a communication project is quite impressive. It's quite laudable. It's quite admirable. But you will notice when somebody is playing timekeeper, accountant, or is playing grammarian, if you compare the quality of preparation to that of when they were preparing for communication project, it is as far as east is from the west. What do I mean? Somebody said, were you there at their preparation? The quality of your performance betrays the quality of your preparation. People
Absolutely.
fail to realize that even when you are playing a leadership role at a meeting, unlike a communication project, you're actually going to speak twice. So the same principle of telling is using storytelling, using statistics, using surveys, using visual aids, using experience sharing will also be used in your introductory segment of your role and then in the report presentation segment of your role. So you would have had the pleasure of even giving 2 speeches and also 1 leadership role all in one. So we need to reorient our members to understand that no matter the competence you have, if you don't have the leadership competence in business, in career, in the home, you will still be the number 2 to somebody.
Yep.
So the leadership competence is very critical. Somebody has rightly said, and I repeat the same, perhaps the most sought after competence today, in addition to communication, is that of leadership.
Leadership.
Some nations today are rich in mineral resources, but they are bereft of leadership. And you can see what the management of such nations are.
Wow.
Mr. Moderator.
Right. Many thanks for that.
Thank you so
And I
much.
was right, and I was bedazzled by your use of the word bereft while you were trying to round off your train of thought. My most distinguished colleagues, if you don't have the leadership competence, you will be number 2 to somebody else. May these words remain etched on our mind until the cows come home. Many thanks once again, our quintessential polymath, for your wisdom, for your dedication to excellence. Brothers and sisters, we're going to delve now into the next item on the agenda. Shall we? Shall we? Okay, my leader is here. Our leader is here. Our Division D leader is here. I'm going to welcome her now to say a few words. She is a past president of Total Energies Toastmasters Club. She will speak to us for 1 to 2 minutes. Please welcome Toastmaster Ibinabo Oyibo.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Please confirm you
evening.
can hear me. Good
Of
evening.
course, we can hear you. Please spotlight
Yes,
her. Please spotlight her.
It is such a delight to be here. I almost didn't make it, so I'm really happy to be here. I would have hated missing out on such an amazing session today. This is not a vote of thanks because I know we have that coming after, but there was something that QP said that I wanted to repeat. For those who knew me when I was the area director, my most common mantra was that Toastmaster was the cheapest MBA anyone could get. And I still stand by that statement. It is the cheapest MBA. It has everything that we look for in an MBA, which is leadership, networking, and communication. And we can see that. I have gotten a lot out of today's session. And I don't forget, the more you give to Toastmasters, the more Toastmasters gives to you. Thank you. And back to you, the moderator.
All right, Toastmaster Ibinabo, many thanks. And we, we cannot forget, can we, the warmth of your smile.
Thank
I
you.
want all of us to, all right, many thanks for that. I want all of us to remember something that distinguished Toastmaster Olunike said earlier. Toastmasters is a toolbox for leadership, for networking, for personal growth. Are you ready for the next item on the agenda? Are you ready for that? My most distinguished colleagues, brothers and sisters, leaders of our clubs, areas, divisions, districts, and regions, permit me to invite to the limelight the Anglophone Afterwork Coordinator, my bosom friend who is a business and organizational psychologist, an executive coach, a business growth strategist, a leadership expert, and a management consultant. She's our newest distinguished Toastmaster. Please welcome with a reverberating round of applause, distinguished Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho to provide the announcements and for us to enjoy the toast.
Thank you very much, English doctor. Thank you. Somebody prophesied before this training, and he said, Toastmaster Craig, the English doctor, is the moderator. DTM Oladele Olunike, another English doctor, is the speaker. By the time we leave this meeting today, we'll have all our spoken English polished, accentuated, and taken to the next level. And it's so true. Apart from the nuggets that they gave us tonight, it's such a delight to listen to the words of Toastmaster Craig and Toastmaster Oladede Odudike. They are my mentors. I would like to be like you when I grow up. Thank you so very much for all the nuggets that you brought. Thank you. I will do the vote of thanks later. Because of our time, we'd like to launch the survey. We always launch a survey after each session. Please, let's have the survey launched. Let me check the chat room. In the chat room, everybody should please, yes, it's here. Everybody should please click on the survey. It's a very short survey, just 4 questions. Let's click on it and let's take the survey. What happens to my page? Okay. Am I visible?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, seems I can't see myself again, but I can see every other person. Okay, it's fine. I can see myself now. So let's just quickly answer the 4 questions of the survey. Thank you, everybody that has taken time out to be here. Just like I said, we don't want to spend too much time tonight, so we are not going to do the vote of thanks twice. I would like us to listen to the following announcements before we go on. According to Alvin Toffler, an American futurist, speaker, and author, he said the illiterates of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write. It will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So thank you so much, DTM Olunike, for helping us to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Thank you. When I grow up, I would like to be like you. So let's take the announcements now. The first one, the next TLI after work is taking place on Monday, the 24th of August, 2026. And the theme is membership renewals, practical strategies to engage and retain your members. That is going to take place at 7 p.m. GMT. And the next TLI Masterclass is taking place on Thursday, 20th of August, 2027 at 7 p.m. GMT. And the theme is becoming a consultant or professional trainer, structuring your offer and finding your first clients. Then we have 3 special announcements from the district public programs quality director. I beg for your grace, DTM Stella George. And please, let's listen very well. Every division director should please be reminded to update the attendance of the COT1 on Leadership Central. And every club and areas should submit their club success plan and area success plan on Club Central. Last but not least, every division directors should please send the details of the newly achieved DTM to our programs quality director in the district, DTM Stella George. Thank you very much. It gives me pleasure to introduce the next role player to us. My sister, my partner, my co-laborer in the vineyard of Division D Toastmasters. To propose the toast, she's an industrial hygienist and management systems auditor. She's a member of Pectin Toastmasters Club or the Pathway of Motivational Strategies. Her hobbies are volleyball and acquiring quirky things. Her favorite quote is by the basketball legend Michael Jordan. Practice like you've never won and play like you've never lost. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the virtual lectern with a rousing round of applause our program's quality director for Division D, East, Toastmaster Olem Oruene.
Thank you so very much, DTM Fumi. Greetings, Toastmasters. As we come to the end of this very inspiring and enriching session, I am reminded that hidden treasures and the best of them is not in some distant place where we have to go look for them. Sometimes they're right in front of us, waiting to be discovered. Tonight, we have had the privilege of discovering the Toastmasters online library, the store, and working through the pathways. These resources are treasures that would help us on our journey of growth. They contain excellent nuggets for knowledge and guidance. Well, here's the one thing that would make all of this work. DTM Ulunike has said it so very well. Toastmasters works if and when we work it. Therefore, if we do not open the library, we do not get anything out of it. We can only grow and become better when we complete our project on the pathways. Opportunities can only become achievements when we take action. Let us all be reminded, learning is not a spectator sport. It is a journey of participating, practicing, and persistence. As we leave here tonight, may we not only appreciate the hidden treasures we've just discovered, but may we commit to using them. So now I would say let's raise our glasses, your cups, your mugs, or anything you can find beside you. I'll wait. To lifelong learning, to personal growth, and to that very delightful and wonderful truth that Toastmasters works if and when we work it. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
All right. And it's back to you, the coordinator.
Thank you very much, my sister, Toastmaster Olem Orene. So may we have many more lives, many more years to live and propose more toasts. According to the Roman philosopher Cicero, he said, gratitude is the greatest virtue. So that is why I want to confess myself grateful to everyone that has taken time out to be here this evening, to join us to make this edition of After Work a success, where we've been learning about discovering Toastmasters International's hidden treasures, the online library, the shop, and the pathway secrets. I'll start from appreciating our program's quality director for the district, our leader, distinguished Toastmaster Stella George. She's been here with us from the beginning of the session, and we do not take your presence for granted. Thank you for always supporting After Work. Thank you for always lending your helping hands to us. Thank you for always honoring us with your presence, distinguished Toastmaster Stella George. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. In the same vein, I would like to appreciate the TLI coordinator, that is Toastmaster Leadership Institute coordinator for the division, for the districts. That is distinguished Toastmaster Hassan Hamadu. He was here earlier on. He left to join the French room. Thank you so very much. Then our speaker, the quintessential polymath himself, distinguished Toastmaster Oladele Olinike. Thank you so much. We are grateful. We want to appreciate every role player today, most especially our moderator, the English doctor, Toastmaster Craig Esowode, at the same time, not belittling the other role players. As Sergeant at times, Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo, Area 17 Director of Division D, at timekeeper Toastmaster Favor Eweka. We also have Toastmaster Olem Orene, who proposed the toast. Our Zoom master, the man who has been working assiduously behind the scenes, Toastmaster Jubril Yusuf. I would also like to appreciate the entire District 130 Toastmasters Leadership Institute team, ably led by Toastmaster Azan. Have done that. And not forgetting the assistant afterward coordinator, a man of diligence, Toastmaster Wahab Badamosi. But most importantly, I would like to appreciate every leader, every club officer, every Toastmaster, everyone present here. I would like us to give ourselves, we have so many area directors here, but I would like us to give ourselves a round of applause. I can see so many area 19 director, Toastmaster Tari Adebisi is here. I have my counterpart from Division C, Distinguished Toastmaster Paul Abe. Thank you so much. Jagaban Ditiamolu Joseph is here in the house. So many Toastmasters. Thank you. Let's just applaud ourselves. Let's appreciate one another. I just want to say thank you, everyone. Let's do it again in the next 2 weeks. Let the turnout be better and greater than this. In the next 2 weeks, the Division G will be hosting the TLI. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. Stay blessed. And not forgetting our division director, Toastmaster Ibinabo. Thank you so much. I don't know how I listed your name as part of the list. I don't know, maybe I was rushing when I saw the red card. But see your beautiful face now. Thank you so much. I know the sacrifices you had to make to be here this evening. I know we discussed earlier on. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And if we can have some music while we close, okay, while we close the after work for tonight, everybody just and ciao, 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 ciao.
Ciao, 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 ciao.